Hi, my name is Lauren and I'm the owner of Wildly Woven, and I want to talk about yarn today. One of the most frequently asked questions I get is, what kind of yarn do you use? Where can I get my yarn? How much does it cost? They all have some pros and cons to them, so let's talk about what those are. So Hobby Lobby yarn, this is what it looks like. This is what I use the most because it's very affordable. Even not on sale, it's only $7.99. It's very soft and it's pretty thick. So a lot of people don't like shopping at Hobby Lobby. They like to shop elsewhere. And that's when you're going to find maybe a Michaels yarn. I work with a lot of customers that are from Canada and they don't have a Hobby Lobby there. So they depend on this Bernat Blanket Big Yarn from Michaels. I will say this is my favorite yarn to use. It feels the most luxurious, it's the thickest, it's the softest, but it's also the most expensive. So one skein of this yarn is around $13 if you don't get it on sale. I will say the length of this skein is longer than these two as well. So the Michaels Bernat yarn is 32 yards and the Hobby Lobby and Temu yarns are 28 yards. So they're a little bit more expensive, but they are a little bit longer. So let's talk about the Temu yarn. Temu yarn is way nicer than I thought it was going to be. To me, the Temu yarn reminds me the most of the Hobby Lobby yarn. It's pretty much the same thickness and it's not priced too horribly depending on which listing you purchase from. It could be anywhere from $8 to $10 a skein, and they have some other colors that you really won't see elsewhere. For example, this really pretty emerald green you can get from there that you can't get anywhere else. Something else cool about Temu yarn is they pretty much ship everywhere. So I always get a lot of people asking me like, do you ship yarn to the US? Because I offer knit kits with my tutorials and stuff like that. But I always tell them just get my tutorial and then go to Temu and search for Chunky Blanket Yarn and they'll pop up. And people from other countries besides the US are able to get their yarn that way, which is pretty cool. You could also get this Bernat yarn from Joann's, but they are going out of business, so there's not that much of a selection anymore. So Michaels is where I get this yarn. I've also tried yarn from Alibaba, which it was okay, it was fine, but the skeins were supposed to be 28 yards. They were a little bit shorter. I felt that the yarn was a little bit thinner than the Temu yarn. And I've also used chunky yarn from Walmart, and the Walmart yarn is a little bit thinner than all of these as well. So these are my three that I like to use the most. I try to buy all of them only when they're on sale or if I have some sort of coupon code. I think that's really important because this yarn is really expensive. Even if you get the most affordable type of yarn, it really stacks up when you're buying a bunch of it to make a large blanket. So I did want to kind of compare the fluffiness of the different yarns, and as you can see, the Michaels yarn is definitely the thickest. Temu yarn, and then we have Hobby Lobby Yarn Bee. It's called Yarn Bee Eternal Bliss yarn. So there you go. It's kind of funny, I've been working with this yarn for so long, I could tell the differences even when they look the same. Like this is definitely a little bit fluffier. Like I feel like this is still really soft and fluffy, but it's like a little bit less fluffy than this one and this one. That's another thing to talk about, which is the softest. So I've always thought this Michaels yarn was the softest. I'd say Temu and Hobby Lobby, those are pretty much the same. So like I said before, the Michaels yarn is my favorite, but it is very expensive. So I usually will resort to Hobby Lobby. If I need a color that is kind of out of the ordinary, I will get Temu. If a lot of places are sold out and I need something in a pinch, I will go to Walmart and get theirs. Let me know if you have any questions about this yarn. If you've tried any other yarn that you really love, I would love to know about that. And yeah, if you have any questions at all, let me know in the comments.